Hi, you're listening to God, Ghosts, and Government, a weekly conversation with Senator Kim Jackson, where she'll reflect on her journey as an Episcopal priest, farmer, legislator, and much more. I'm your host, Sharitha J., and I'm honored to share this space with you. Let's begin. Hey, it's your girl Sharitha J., and we're back for another episode of God, Goats, and Government. Hey, Senator Jackson.
Hey Sharitha, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing all right, but I gotta bring something up because something was brought to my attention by one of our longtime listeners.
What's up?
Apparently, we've been depriving them of our beautiful faces. They didn't realize that our episodes are available on YouTube at Kim for Georgia.
Well, funny thing is, I didn't realize that either for a long time. And I'm like now really self-conscious about the fact that my face was being filmed. I feel like there were many, many episodes that you did not tell me we were actually using the video.
It it was implied. I mean, we're recording, and I told you that I'm putting it up on YouTube. What did you think I was putting on YouTube?
Just the audio. You know how many like interviews I do where they just like pull the audio out? Like how many times was my hair like askew and I was in like plaid farmer clothes? You ain't tell me, man.
I thought that was just a part of like the appeal, like the
No.
Kim Jackson appeal, where it's God, goats, and government. Sometimes you got to look like you're working with goats.
Well, I am happy to carry on that persona, but now that I know, I will try to, put on some chapstick every once in a while. But no, a shout out to Ann Stanford who brought that to our attention that she didn't know either. I'm glad that she knows now that she can watch it, and I know now, so I will try to look appropriate.
Yes, please. Every Tuesday at 9 a.m., new episodes drop at Kim for Georgia on YouTube. Of course, if you're one of our longtime listeners, the standard podcast episodes, they're available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen. I mean, it's across the board. So you really can't engage. Just go in and subscribe. If you're on Apple, subscribe to the God, Goats, and Government podcast. Leave us a review. Hit us with the 5 stars, please and thank you. Also, drop a comment if you're watching on YouTube. We are engaging there. We'd love to have a comment from you. And thanks again, and we really appreciate you bringing this to our attention. We will no longer deprive the people. Okay.
Funny thing is, they haven't been deprived; they just didn't know about it. This is a metaphor, though, for so much in my life.
Well, now look, now they know, and we're gonna keep promoting. Like I said, you guys can catch us at 9 a.m. Tuesday mornings. New episode. We are moving forward with what's happening here. Well, I'm saying here under the Gold Dome, like I'm under the Gold Dome, but that's what we're doing. We're keeping up with what's happening under the Gold Dome. So, speaking of, I heard you had some visitors this week.
I had so many visitors this week, Sharitha.
Yeah.
Who are you even referring to?
Well, let's see. I think you had some folks stop by from Emmaus house. There was someone
Yes.
met you on the ropes. You look, please. I don't even know if I'm updated in real time. You gotta let me know.
I mean, that's real. So, folks from Emmaus House, shout out to Mr. Columbus and May Helen, Miss Hazel. Just it was a really great short visit, but always happy to see them. They reminded me that last year they came on Ash Wednesday and I gave them ashes at the Capitol. But of
Oh,
course, this year we weren't in session, so they came the next day. So that was really sweet, a lot of fun. I've met so many people on the ropes though this week. It's been wildly amazing. I actually really enjoy it, like, because sometimes being on the floor gets a little boring. And so it's nice to go out to the ropes and, talk to people, hang out. The folks from True Colors have come out. They're a group that's been working to help protect the lives of trans kids. Some of our own clergy friends have been a part of that group. A friend, Danya, who works with the Heifer Project. If anybody doesn't know what the Heifer Project is this real dope organization that used to be known for providing heifers, providing cows to families or individuals in really low resource areas around the world. You could buy a heifer or a pig or a hen for a family for Christmas. That's what they used to be really well known for.
Wow.
But now they've expanded and they're like really focusing on ag issues in the United States too, and particularly in the South. So Danya works for them and she came and met me on the ropes. I had a bunch of advocates for Disability Link, which is a Tucker organization. I don't know. There have been so many people. I'm hesitant to start calling names. I'm gonna miss
I
people. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun on the ropes.
That's great. I mean, it just sounds like such a busy week. I also know that you guys had a few days of celebration at the Capitol as well. I believe there was Maternal Health Awareness Day.
Yeah.
Am I
So I think that was like, I think it was technically Reproductive Justice Day, but it was connected
reproductive?
to, yeah, Reproductive Justice Day, which was connected to the Black maternal mortality issues. But I
Hmm.
got to do a short panel over at Central Press, actually, in their sanctuary around reproductive justice with some long-term old school Black women who've been in this work for repro and for HIV and AIDS work in the Black women's community for a long, long time. So that was like, I felt like there's this moment where I'm like fangirling because I'm just like, y'all have been doing this work for 30 plus years. I feel so
Wow.
new to the scene and I'm just so grateful to be a part of that. So yeah, and then we had Asian American Day. There was New Americans Day. Was that this week too?
That was this week too. Yeah, you had Asian American Advocacy Day, New Americans Day. I told you, I truly believe that you're a time traveler because I don't know how else. Either you have a transporter, getting into my sci-fi roots here just a little bit, because I don't know how you are getting to all of these events. Sometimes I feel like they're happening simultaneously. Now I'm gonna start, where is Senator Kim Jackson? Like, where's Waldo? Like, just find her. Where is she on the map? Because all of these events happen in one week.
It's true. And we haven't even talked about the best of the event, Sharitha, which is the one where you were truly my transporter. And it
Yes.
included, this is what's wild to me. So Ash Wednesday, it was Ash Wednesday. We did ashes. We had comfy chicken at homegrown. And we blessed 10 of our parishioners' houses. I mean, we did more than 10 house blessings. We did a whole bunch of house blessings, and
Hmm.
we did ashes again that afternoon, all in one day. And we were in a newspaper. It was like a whole day. It was
A
amazing.
whole day. I I I was exhausted. I just want to put that out there.
I was too, Sharitha. I got home and I just like wanted to sit on the couch. And Trina said to me, she's like, Kim, like you told me you didn't want to just like come home and just sit on the couch. Like you want to go for a walk or something. And I was like, you don't even understand. You just don't
Oh,
understand that day of blessing all. I mean, it's such a beautiful, glorious day
yeah,
of being
it
able
really
to
was.
bless so many folks' houses. And it was 65 degrees. And they live in shipping containers that are made out of steel on blacktop. So yeah, it was a lot.
We
It
were
was a lot.
truly doing the Lord's work that day.
I know at one point I was
Really.
like, can I sprinkle some of this water on myself? Because I
Just
am so hot. My
goodness, but
voice
yeah.
started going. I think it's still struggling. By the time I got to that third service in the park, I was, whew, it was a lot, but
But
just a real blessed day. That all of that in the middle of everything else.
I mean, really, it's a team effort, but I mean, just being able to team up on that day, that one day alone, I think you should have taken the week off. But you just continue to do the work. And again, I look up and here you are in photos, like, hey, you just like, let's celebrate all of these beautiful moments. And
Yeah,
it's just really, I'm laughing, but at the same time, it shows that you are not sitting down. I know we're sitting down now, but when we say the work continues, it
yeah,
really continues. It doesn't stop, even if it's a bad bill day or whatever, you're doing the work.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Retha, and thank you for helping to make sure I stayed well nourished on that particularly hectic day. I don't know how we had time for comfy chicken at homegrown, but I am very, very glad we did.
I was
It was great.
determined. Look, shout out to Homegrown. I know, look, we don't get sponsorships here, but the comfy chicken, now that was a blessing. And all of that on Ash Wednesday, but also it was a day of love. It was Valentine's
We
Day.
saw that. Yeah.
So, I mean, just a culmination of things to be able to just have that moment. So yeah, what a great way to be able to love on our church members and the
Yeah.
community at large.
Well, and
So,
fun fact, the flower that I used to bless people's homes came from a bouquet of flowers that I sent to my wife for Valentine's Day. Except this is how my brain works. I was so concerned about making sure that I sent her flowers for Valentine's Day that I sent her 2 sets of flowers, and I bought them from the same company, so both bouquets were exactly the same. So I was like, "Oh, she won't mind if I just take one of these, because she has twice as many anyway." So yeah, but it was nice to share a little bit of the love that I had shared with my wife with everybody else as I blessed those homes. Yeah.
you know, for our folks who are watching YouTube, you can see the look. Two sets of
Super.
hey, that's either brilliant or you just forgot
Oh
in
no,
order to.
I literally forgot, but don't tell Trina that. Hopefully she's not listening to this. I think she just felt extremely blessed, right? And I totally played it off. I was like, man, I can't believe, I was like, I wanted you to have a really nice bouquet. I can't believe they sent the exact same ones to like make it, I thought that they would do something different.
Look,
Yeah, I just totally forgot.
I won't let you go out like that. That's just dedication. Okay. You were committed.
I was committed.
Okay. I got you. That was
I was making sure I
commitment.
wasn't gonna drop the ball.
There
That's
we
what I
go.
was. I'm
That's
like,
what
my
we
wife
don't
gonna
do
know.
around here.
She gonna know I love her.
There you
So
go.
I made sure.
So that is a beautiful full circle moment, and that we were able to use some of those flowers to bless the home. So your over preparation really it spilled over into a lot of extra love into the community, into our parishioners, and just man, again, what a week. So I want to uh just keep us moving because it's been such a busy week, and I'm sure you could probably use a little bit of R&R at some point.
I have a
So
3-year-old, right? Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's right. I tried. I
It's
really
okay.
tried.
It's okay.
Like,
He does go to bed at 8 o'clock, so the rest for the weary will come. It'll just
yo,
be after 8.
your 3-year-old stays up later than I do.
I do have friends who put their children to bed at like 7, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, first of all, if I did that, I wouldn't see him. But yeah, that must be more closer to your bedtime, Sharitha.
I have the bedtime of a toddler clearly because I mean, man, I have to do some self reflection. I got to get the rest. So,
I'm impressed, actually.
if I don't have class, I got to shut it down because you look, my metaphorical toddlers are our parishioners, and I'm gonna give them everything I got. So I got to get some sleep.
Okay.
So, oh my gosh, no. So 8 o'clock. Yeah, please look, I would be right behind him falling asleep. So uh well, we're gonna keep it moving. You have two bills that's in the queue. Can we
3 bills. I keep telling you it's 3.
three,
Y'all don't know. We do like a whole little just a short talk before we start recording, so Sharitha should know what's going on. And I corrected her then, but she clearly wasn't paying attention. Must be close to her bedtime when we're recording this.
it is
I
close
got
to my
three.
bedtime. This
I got 3 bills in the queue. Okay,
Okay.
and I'm
Okay.
super excited about them. All right, ask me about them one by one. Don't ask me the
Okay.
number though.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing. I only know about two. So you're gonna for sure I want us to discuss the address confidentiality bill.
Yeah.
And of course we'll hop into the next. But what's going on with the address confidentiality bill?
Yeah, so address confidentiality bill, it has SB are the first two letters of that bill. I believe the next number is
324.
three. Yeah, there we go, 324. It will be heard on Tuesday, the day that this podcast drops, in Children and Families at 1 o'clock. That's in CLOB, the club, some people call it, or the LOB, the lob, depends on who you are. It's technically called the Coverdale Legislative Office Building. It'll be heard then at 1 o'clock, and I'm super excited about it. We've been working on this bill. I know we've been talking about it for a while, but we've been working on this bill since I dropped it last year. So I dropped it on the day before Sine Die last year to just kind of signal to folks that we wanted to do this. And over the summer, and especially during these past couple of weeks, we've been working with all the activists and the people involved to make it happen. So I'm looking forward to a really positive hearing. We took the bill down. I think it was originally like 18 pages. We brought it down to 9. So that will help some of the folks in the back who don't read very well. We decided to go ahead and cut it down for them. And so hopefully we'll be able to get it out committee on Tuesday.
Okay, that's exciting. And can you give us a quick reminder for those that are new why this bill is so important?
Yeah, so in Georgia, if you are a victim of sexual assault, domestic violence, stalking, any of those things, if you survive those type of events, and you move, maybe you use the law that I helped pass a couple of years ago, where you get out of your lease and don't have to pay the penalties because we passed that law, and you move, that's great, but your new address becomes public the moment you get a driver's license or register for any number of the thousands of things that the state requires of you. And there's no real way to protect your address. And so what this bill does is it creates an avenue, it creates a pathway. So let's say you're a victim of domestic violence, you're a survivor. When you move, before you sign up with the US Postal Service and tell them that this is your new address, before you do any of those things, you can contact the Secretary of State's office and say, I want my address protected. And they'll give you a different address. They'll give you an alternative address that you can use for all of those other things to really protect you from the people who are threatening your life. So super excited to do this. It will save lives. There are 42 other states in the nation that have this program. So we are coming in hot at the very end of it, but I'm really, really grateful to be able to carry this, and very, very optimistic that we can actually get it across the finish line.
Yeah, this is definitely exciting. Okay. All right. So SB 324 hearings happening on Tuesday, the same day this episode drops. At the hearing will be at 1 p.m.
Yeah,
Okay. All
yeah,
right. Now, second bill, because again, I only know two of the three, as you pointed out.
mhm,
Second bill. So the what is it? The homeless excuse me, the second bill, the Council on Homelessness. What's
yeah.
happening there?
Sure. It's a bill called the Interagency Council on Homelessness. It brings together almost all of the agencies that the governor's office and that the state has that have anything to do with homelessness. So you're talking about your Department of Community Affairs, Department of Community Health, Department of Public Health, Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities, Board of Pardons and Paroles, Board of Corrections. I mean, you name the people. It says all of y'all got to send one person to this meeting along with 3 people who have experienced homelessness directly and 3 people who represent service providers, and sit down and come up with a plan, a comprehensive plan for addressing homelessness across the state. So that's what the bill does. I'm super excited to announce. I mean, technically, I'm not even supposed to be announcing it because it hasn't been published, but by the time this drops, it will be. I'm happy to announce and thrilled to announce that we will have a hearing for that bill on Wednesday. So Tuesday is address confidentiality. Wednesday is going to be the Homelessness Council. That bill, it has 3 sponsors and only 3. I am the first signer. The other 2 signers are Republicans. Cardin Summer, who you might remember, Sharitha, was the one who brought the bill that was going to criminalize homelessness. And like we all rallied together a couple of years ago and came down and fought the good fight to kill that bill. Well, he's the second signer because he is committed to doing this work. And the third signer is the majority whip, Randy Robertson, police officer. We've talked about him before. SB 63, a trash bill, was one of his bills, but he is the third signatory on this bill because he also has articulated a clear commitment to this issue. And I like, hey, you say you care about it, so sign the paper. And they did.
This might be our God moment.
Nope, I got another God moment coming. So
Okay.
when we get to number 3, but this is like it's a little taste, right?
Okay, so that was number 2. What's bill number 3? What's in the
The
queue?
bill number 3 does not have a number. It's not that I can't remember it. It literally doesn't have a number because I will not drop it until Tuesday. But bill number 3, I've been working on it for a minute, so you could have known about it, but it's okay. Um, bill number 3 is a bill that will create a pathway where people who are trained as physicians in other countries, so what we call foreign trained physicians, will have an opportunity to get a 2-year provisional license so that they can operate as physicians in the state of Georgia under the supervision of a licensed physician while they finish doing the boards that are required, and then they can continue to function on with a provisional license on as long as they're serving in high needs, so a free clinic, federally qualified health centers, places where they're serving the indigent and the poor. They'll be able to continue to serve in as the capacity as a physician. This is huge, huge, huge,
Yeah.
huge. And like because it's my podcast, I can tell y'all the nitty-gritty backstory of this, which was we thought it was DOA. We thought it wasn't going anywhere. I was told that the people who were going to sign with me had to back out because this is not the time or the year to do anything for immigrants. Y'all remember I got burned hard on my in-state tuition bill. They're now calling my in-state tuition bill an open borders scholarship bill. Um, So I was told this is hopeless. Don't like let it go. It's dead. It's not gonna happen. Don't even file it. And then I just said, you know what? Let me talk directly to Kay Kirkpatrick, Senator Kirkpatrick, who is one of the 2 doctors in the Senate, and just ask her, will you look at this? And will you consider signing it? And we sat down and she looked at the bill and she actually contacted the medical board on my behalf and they said they didn't have any objection to it. And she was like, well,
Wow.
if you can guarantee me that these folks are here legally, where they can work legally, if you can guarantee me that they have medical malpractice insurance, I'm happy to
Mhm.
sign. And so Kay Kirkpatrick, she's my 3rd signer. My 2nd signer, he's the governor's floor leader, Bo Hatchett. It's I mean, it's incredible. This stuff is stuff that should never happen. Darlene Lynch, who works with CRSA, the Coalition for Refugee Service Agencies, when I called her and told her, I was like, "Hey, we got it. We have the signatures. We're ready to drop it." She's just like, "I don't know what world I'm living in. How has this happened? How has this happened?"
Yeah,
And that to me is the God moment.
this
Yeah,
is great news.
yeah.
So many lives will be changed because of this.
Yeah, and I recognize there are many, many steps to get there before we can get this
Yeah.
all the way over. But the fact that I've been able, and we did in a real crunched period of time, so crossover day is really soon. I mean, if my bills aren't heard next week, then they're not going to make it across crossover. And so the fact that we have a hearing on Tuesday for address confidentiality, Wednesday for homelessness, and I already have a pretty good, strong commitment from the powers that be that we'll get a hearing on Thursday for the physicians bill. I mean, this is huge. And I am so excited. And I know not all 3 of these things are going to get across the finish line. That's not likely. I'll be blessed to get one. And I'm also working my ass off for all three of them in hopes that who knows, maybe we'll get lucky. But this is just for folks to go from, we can't do anything to help immigrants to, oh yeah, no, this makes sense, and we do need doctors. We need doctors badly.
Yeah.
Let's work together and see about doing it.
Mm. There's
So
hope.
we'll
There's
see.
hope.
Yeah, there's hope. There's
Yeah.
hope.
There's hope.
So
I mean, that, which, and I say this, and I don't know what your feelings were. I know we're focusing on the present session, legislative session that we're in. But this time last year, heading into crossover day, which by the way is February 29th for those who are catching this podcast, February 29th is crossover day this year under the Gold Dome. But yeah, that wasn't the theme of last year's session. I didn't feel very hopeful. In this moment, I feel like there's hope. So this
yeah.
is exciting news, and I'm glad that I didn't know about number three because you guys caught my reaction in real time.
Well, there's three bills. The fun thing is, Sharita, there's actually a fourth bill, and
Don't
we
toy
found
with
it like
me.
I'm no, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. But I'm like, so I have that the indemnification fund bill that allows for people who die by suicide who are public safety
Yeah.
officers. We worked this for several years. Well, that bill still exists. That bill has been called for a hearing 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row, and every week I have to tell them no, like I can't focus on that, like I have other coals in the fire. No, but every week, like, they keep calling it for a hearing, so I'm like, y'all, if they call it
Mm,
again, I'm gonna go do the hearing, let me just
don't
say.
do it.
But yeah,
I know we just had the Super Bowl, but come on now, Senator Jackson.
I mean, I'm carrying bills like I'm a Republican almost. All that many bills out in the hopper, right?
Oh my goodness. Well, on that note, we're just gonna keep it moving. Uh, we recognize that again. We're gonna honor your time and the time of our listeners. Just again, thank you for
Yeah.
the ways that you have been showing up. As I said, I'm convinced you are a time traveler. So much to look forward to this week as we have hearings happening on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll keep an eye out for that third one. Is there anything else you want us to know before we go?
Yeah, I mean, still be on the lookout. There's some bad stuff out there, right? SB 88, which we've talked about in the past, it's reared its ugly head back up again. Ironically, it's Senator Cardin Summers, my second signer on my homelessness bill, but it's what we've called the Don't Say Gay bill of Georgia. I'll tell y'all now, it's not horrible. It could be a lot worse, but it's still not great. And I suspect that bill will come to the floor. My colleague and dear friend, and I say that with sincerity, not ironically, Senator Marty Harbin, who graciously has agreed to hear my homelessness bill. He's also the author of a bill that would provide for state funds to fund every classroom in the state of Georgia to have a copy of the Ten Commandments posted. He also introduced a bill that would make for chaplains in public schools. And get this is what's really gross to me about it, because I'm all for chaplains. I was a chaplain, right? But what's really gross about it is that it would allow public schools to hire chaplains in lieu of school counselors. Um, yeah. So, there's some grossness out there. It ain't all daffodils and sunshine, to be sure. But so be on the lookout for some of those things. But I'm grateful to be able to have some positive things. And if I can pivot over to the goat side, I got some real good important farm updates for us.
Oh, please and thank you, because that's really what it's all about. I told you. Now, I care about what you do as a senator because it's important. I care about you as a reverend because you're really out here, like, together we get to make a difference. But these goats, they're giving life, and we want
Yeah.
to know what's going on at the barnyard.
Yeah, so the goats, I mean, they're doing great. I actually came home and they were out just because our farm manager lets them just roam. I have 6 goats, 5 of them came up and showed me love immediately. So me and
Uh-huh.
Tennessee, we are not friends right now because he just was like, "I don't care about you," and walked away. But the other 5 showed me all the love in the world, which I needed on after a long week. So I appreciate that. But the real update is that we are moving forward with continuing to expand the farm and just purchased 100 blueberry bushes, 100,
Ooh.
100 blueberry bushes that we will be putting into the farm, installing, planting is actually the word, in the next 2 or 3 weeks as
Okay.
we move towards having a U pick blueberry patch on our property. So super ecstatic and fun fact,
Okay.
we're gonna plant them in the shape of a labyrinth. So you can come and walk the labyrinth, and even when they're not blueberries, it'll still be a labyrinth. But if you want to walk the labyrinth while you're picking the blueberries and have a meditative experience, it'll be all in one. So yeah, just super excited to see us continuing to expand the farm and, of course, to continue to work on our fencing to make sure our goats don't eat the 100 blueberries that we just bought.
There what the thought did occur because initially I'm just like, are you buying these blueberry bushes so that the goats can just eat them right away? Because
No.
that's
So, strong fencing is always, always important, and we will continue to reinforce fencing while we
well,
do this big install. So, yeah.
this is exciting, and I'm looking forward to hearing about how this goes. I know we're at our time, but you don't have to answer this. You may need to process it. I understand, but I do want to know why you and Tennessee got beef. Like that's I
You
so
know, I can't even answer. I'm like, I modeled legislation about physicians getting their licenses provisionally after the state of Tennessee. They are the model, but Tennessee, my actual goal, got beef with me. I don't know what that's about. That's okay. Maybe I just haven't shown them enough love lately, so
gotta
I'll work
work
on
that
that.
out. Gotta
Yeah,
work it out. Maybe you need to buy Tennessee an extra bouquet of flowers.
he would love that.
On that note, Senator Jackson, it has been another fantastic episode of God, Goats, and Government.
Until next time, be easy, y'all. We're so grateful that you listen to us and hope you share this podcast with other folks. Take care.